Hi everyone, welcome back to Guitar Immerse YouTube channel. Alright, today we have with us this special pedal by Pinstripe pedals. Okay, it's the DISO Plus or the DISO Plus or the DISO Plus. I'm not sure which is the right pronunciation, but it's a very interesting pedal which has been on many people's pedalboard. Now, so this pedal, it's not really a DI box, okay? It's what they call a line isolator, all right? It's meant for things like modelers like HX Storm or even Iridium, your Wallace ACS1. It's meant for this modeling type pedals to go into, because they can take in stereo, okay, and then they can XLR stereo out as well. Okay, now what's so beautiful about this pedal is that if you get the right model, you can actually sum your stereo into mono. That's one for both the quarter inch out and the XLR out. For this model, is only the quarter inch out. All right, and basically you don't need to have two DI boxes to have two cables going into two different boxes and then going out two XLRs. One box would suffice. Okay. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to compare the differences in terms of tone, all right, between a one DISO Plus versus two individual DI boxes. Now, DI boxes are very common in many places, especially for church musicians. We always go into whatever DI box the church provides, right? So we want to see whether is it worth to get our own special unique DI box for our usage. Okay, so we're going to compare firstly how does a line isolator sound versus a DI box, okay, in terms of volume. Okay, generally I believe the DI boxes would have a much lower volume because it basically takes the impedance of your current signal and it drops the impedance lower. Therefore, you have a lower much lower volume. So we're going to hear the volume differences first, and then on the second part of the video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the volume of the DI boxes in the mixer so that it balances out, comparing in terms of volume wise. Okay, so from this comparison we will then judge the tone. How does this tone compare to the DI boxes tone? Alright, so hope you have a good understanding of how this pedal will help you in your signal chain. Okay, so let's go. Alright, so there you have it. We kind of did a comparison. So firstly, you can tell that the volume of your DI box, it's way lower than the DISO Plus pedal. Okay, on my mixer I actually have to unpad 26 dB, right, in order to balance the volume of the DI boxes with the DISO Plus. So it's almost 20 to 26 dB of different volume. Okay, so that's the very first thing. So when you have lower volume, and when you push up your volume, basically your noise ratio also goes up, which then might create more noise in your signal flow. Now this is a studio environment, which is a bit difficult to replicate as compared to a live environment whereby you have lightings, you have much longer cables and stuff like that. But this is based on certain theories. Basically you need to increase your volume from a DI box, therefore it might have a bit more noise. Okay, so that's the very first thing that we observe from the comparison. Now once we basically pump up the volume to balance out both pedals, generally we feel that the DISO Plus does have a bit more openness to the sound, a bit more bass, and a bit more sustain. Okay, it got a bit more obvious when we kick on the gain, when we kick on the protein pedal. Yeah, so when we kick on the protein pedal, the DI boxes, actually the volume became a bit softer than when we did clean comparison. So we had to then re-increase the volume again on the mixer to match what we hear on the DISO Plus. Okay, so when you kick on gain, things change, right? So you got to be careful on that. And when the gain comes in, the tonality of both DI boxes were quite different. We can actually hear that the DI boxes were a bit harsher in tone, a bit brighter, harsher, whereas the DISO Plus was a bit warmer, had a bit more bass. So we can actually attribute that to maybe adding an EQ pedal and changing the EQ, but characteristically wise, you can hear the differences between the two different pedals. Alright, so the DISO Plus comes in about $350 to $400 Sing. Alright, it's a pretty expensive pedal, right? So you be the judge for yourself whether this pedal is it worth it, whether is it worth to be on your board. Right, so if you find that the tones are much better based on this video, okay, and if you live in Singapore, do check out our friends at JMath Guitars. They still have stock at the moment, so go and grab your DISO Plus. Alright, so if you like this kind of videos, do give us a good thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for the latest videos. Okay, take care, God bless, I will see you real soon. Bye.